Highs and hellos and highs. Okay, so this is attempt number 3 actually. So I uploaded a video, and it only uploaded a 3-second video, which I have no idea because it was like forever long. You have to excuse the traffic. It's exceptionally loud today. But then my computer is not letting me have any sound, and I just got frustrated and stopped troubleshooting. It's done that before. Dang you, Windows. But somebody on a different website asked me to tell basically how I learned how to do the Nauli, and might as well just talk about that because I guess it's not all that common, but I didn't know anything about it. Okay, so let me start over. So I know I've mentioned this before in my other videos. I've always been really strong. Even as I remember as a 4-year-old, looking at pictures, the few that I have ever seen, I was this tiny little white hair. I look like a milkweed puff or like a dandelion puff, but my arms were thick. They were. And again, I could climb a rope up and down 20 feet of rope with no feet, nothing. Just holding on with my arms. Okay, this is all squishy already, but I would say that I have had a 6-pack since, well, from the time I remember actually being conscious of it, I was probably 8. And I could do the vacuum for as long as I can remember. And why I know that is because my siblings would always be like, make yourself look like you're starving, and I do this. And that's how I knew. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I would just make myself look like I was starving. And then I think about 8 or 9, I remember for sure showing off the Nauli because my stepmom had a best friend who was always like, oh, I'm so fat. And she wasn't, but, you know, women. I'm all like women, like I'm not one. But my stepmom would be like, show her your 6-pack. And so I'd show it off. And then she'd be like, and then do that thing that you do. And so I would do this. And her friend would be like, oh gosh, that's so gross, but it's kind of cool. And so that's how long I've been able to do it. Now, I didn't know it was like a thing until MFC, when there was a certain person who was like, oh my gosh, you can do the Nauli. And that's when I said, what is that? Now, I haven't looked up the history of the word. I should, or the origin of it, but I assume it's from yoga. It just sounds like a yoga-y name. But I should probably do that and let you know, because I don't even know. But yeah, so I have pretty phenomenal control over my muscles. I always have, and I always have. Like, I can withstand, right now, I could get up and run 20 miles. And it doesn't bother me. And then tomorrow I could get up and, like, nothing's wrong. So I think I'm a little bit of a freak of nature, you know what I mean? Like, even after there have been times where I couldn't run for, weeks, and I could still just get up and run 10 miles or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know exactly why. I've never had like a muscle biopsy for muscle composition or anything like that, but I do think I'm a bit of a freak of nature, and I've always just had pretty good muscle control. And if I don't have good muscle control, I will learn it, and I don't think there's anything that I haven't just kind of instinctively learned, other than like flexing and what looks good, because I actually had somebody teach me that, I did like a session with them and recorded it, and they edited it, and you know, walked me through like what angles looked good. And so I am really grateful to this day, although I don't use a lot of the advice, because I forget, and then I'm like, oh man, I should have used that. But I don't know, I just need a boss who like smacks me on the head with a ruler whenever I don't do what I should do. But yeah, so that is the abs. And you know, we can do that kind of thing. And I can do a no-handed nollie, I think, or vacuum. Let me see, maybe I can do a no-handed nollie. Apparently this is a hard flex, or a hard pose for bodybuilders, so let's see. Not hard. I mean, not hard, but it's not like super hard. Now let me try the nollie. Hypoxia does wonders for the brain. But yeah, so I guess I can take this off because this is a bikini, albeit a big one. It is appropriate attire. I'm not being inappropriate. Oh, my straps were all twisted up. So yeah, that is pretty much the story. And you know, the only time I think that I remember not being conscious of my core or my strength. I'm not really conscious of it. I'm stronger than I realize. So when I bonk myself in the head, it's usually hard. But this is just a little story from when I was about 4 or 5. Like I said, my imagination was wild, and we'd have people come out and visit, and you know, the girls be all cute, and I was impressionable. We lived down in the woods in a bus, and you know, everything was survival and utilitarian type, and these people would come out and visit, and the girls be dressed in little jeans and cute little dresses, and I was just awestruck by them, completely awestruck. Oh, these are my minions. Don't ask. They're from out of the Kinder eggs. But so you know I've eaten too. But no, and so I was really awestruck by these women, right? Because we weren't exposed to TV, any of that stuff, so it was all like, wow. And they were beautiful, and I wanted to be them. And so I, one time, got you know those rubber bands that go around broccoli stalks, like to hold the broccoli together? I took one of those rubber bands and I put it around my waist. And in my imagination, playing pretend, I pretended that I was wearing really like tight jeans. And my oldest brother came out and was like, "What are you doing? Like, what did you do that for?" And I couldn't tell him, right? I couldn't be like, "Oh, brother, I'm wearing tight jeans in my fantasy world." So he cut it off. I remember that hurt because it snapped, you know? But yeah, I fit a broccoli rubber band around my waist. I should try that again one day. Ooh. I am going to find a broccoli rubber band, see if I can fit it around my waist. That is my challenge to myself. Without it breaking. It probably will break. I can't imagine at 4 or 5 years old I had a 27-inch waist. But if I did, I'd probably look like a baby Buddha. Huh. Anyway, so I hope this makes up for the really late video. I doggone it. I'm really sad about that. But I'm going to upload this now, and the minions say, oh, he's wearing oh, look. He's wearing sunglasses that you can lift him up. Or you can, ooh, he jumped. Never mind. Well, this guy, he's wearing a hat. So yeah, I'm gonna just upload this, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it was not too like they usually are. Okay,